Greetings everyone, it's Kirsten here again. Sorry I've taken a little bit of a hiatus on the channel. I wish I could be uploading more, but it's been a bit crazy with like Nutcracker starting. Last week I was on tour in Colorado, which was amazing, but it was kind of impossible to film and upload stuff. So yes, but I'm back and I hope to be more frequent with my uploads, even though we're going back into the theater this week. But that brings me to today's subject matter, which is my little survival guide for Nutcracker and like how to get through it and have a very pleasurable, fun, minimally stressful experience. So a lot of dancers, especially when we're younger, get to do Nutcracker and it's like super exciting. I always really looked forward to it. I still love it. And some people only have like one weekend of shows, some have a lot more. I'm doing 14 shows in all. Already did 4 of them in Colorado, so I've got 10 here in Oklahoma City. So it won't be too bad. It's only over 10 days, but it'll be like pretty intense. Yeah, so I've got some survival tips, even though I don't really like the term survival because it kind of alludes to the idea that it's like super stressful or awful. It's supposed to be really, really fun. So my number one tip is just go in with the attitude that you are going to enjoy yourself and this is like a really fun thing to do because you're lucky to do it, and it is like a super fun holiday kind of experience. So yes, just go in there and decide that you're gonna have fun and not like stress at the details, because that is just silly. I believe that stressing about things, or like letting your stress manifest in your actions and just allowing it to consume you, is a choice. Of course, like stress happens naturally and we can't always control it because some situations are just a lot to take in. And so if performing is stressful for you, just like decide now that you're not going to let it get the best of you and that you're just going to enjoy what you're doing, because ultimately you're very lucky to do it. It is a very fun thing to do. And one thing I really learned recently that has just blown my mind is that the audience only really wants to see you doing what you love to do and having fun. And if a lot of your stress is coming from the idea that you need to be perfect to please people out there in the audience, or if people are going to come to see you that you want to impress, just remember that even if they know technique, most of the time, even if you're not perfect, they just want to see you having a great time and being passionate about something and sharing your passion on stage with them. It means a lot to people, especially people who don't know anything about ballet. It's actually disappointing when they see someone up there just stressing out and just kind of having like a fake smile and doing everything but not enjoying it. So just remember that, and I hope that takes a lot of stress off of you if you are one of those people that tends to like overthink things and stress out like myself. Just remember, you don't have to stress. It doesn't have to be something that happens to you. You can make the choice to kind of put it aside more or less and just enjoy what you're doing. My next more practical tip is to bring snacks. This is very, very important. Usually you'll be in the theater for long hours and you really don't want to be hungry, and especially when people get excited, it's around Christmas time, they'll like bring cookies and really yummy things and totally like live your life, have one, whatever. But I find that in the past when I was younger and I didn't bring snacks and I was really hungry because I didn't think ahead, I would either not have any food, or someone would bring like brownies or something and I would try and fill up on those because I was hungry, and then I would feel sick or like really jittery, and then you have to go perform and you just don't want to be feeling sick. And also you don't want to get sick. A lot of people totally underestimate what effect what you eat has effect on your health. Wow, English. Okay, I'm gonna start that over. People underestimate the power of eating your vegetables and minimizing your sugar intake. This is huge. I see it in so many of my friends, not here now, but especially in college. I knew so many people who would just eat so much crap and so much sugar like all throughout finals week, and they would wonder why they got sick literally every end of the semester finals week. And I'm like, it's because you're not taking care of yourself. You gotta sleep, you have to eat well, and hydrate. Oh my gosh, it's huge. So like, yeah, enjoy your cookie, enjoy your brownie, whatever, but do it in moderation, not to be like skinny or anything like that or perpetuate this idea. It's merely to take care of yourself, because sugar feeds all these harmful things in your body. It doesn't help your immune system. It weakens it. In fact, I mean, this might be total pseudoscience what I'm spewing at you right now. I feel like it's not. But I'm not a scientist or a nutritionist. I just see this over and over again. I've experienced it in myself. When I don't take care of myself and when I'm eating a lot of sugar, I don't feel good. I get sick more often. And actually in the past couple years, since I've been a lot better about eating my vegetables and just eating very nourishing foods and just once in a while enjoying like a sugary treat, I almost never get sick. It's pretty crazy. So keep that in mind. And a huge thing that will help you is, back to my point, bringing snacks. A couple of ones that I recommend because they are really easy, quick, energy boosting snacks that are healthy, easily digestible. So even if you, sorry, Alice is hitting my tripod right now. Alice, stop it. Okay, she's fine. But anyway, so you want something, if you're going to eat it right before the show or like after warm up or something, that is easily digestible. So there are lots of things like nuts and whatever that are great for you, but they are slow digesting foods. So what I like to do is I bring a lot of fruit, like bananas. Dates are amazing. Like if you have never tried a date or seen one, this is a medjool date. They look super weird, but let me tell you, they are delicious. They're like nature's caramel. And if you just eat like one or two of them, they're really sweet and delicious. So it gives you a natural energy boost, and you're getting fructose mixed with the fiber in the food. So it's gonna minimize the spike in your blood sugar, so you won't feel sick later. But you get that like satiating effect mixed with the energy that you get from like a sweet treat, and it does taste sweet. So I recommend dates, bananas, and then also balancing that with a little bit of protein. Like you can have a protein bar, preferably one that is low in sugar, minimally processed, and something that has like real food ingredients. That would be ideal. Or what I love these days is these little roasted edamame beans. They're a quick vegetarian, non-perishable thing you can keep in your, or vegan too, it's not just vegetarian. It's a great plant-based protein source. You could keep it in your dance bag. It comes in a nice little sealed package, so you don't have to worry about it. You can put it wherever. And it's easily digestible, really delicious, crunchy, a little bit salty, and it'll give you more fiber, a bit more protein to, again, like satiate you and level out your blood sugar spikes, I guess. So you have like a consistent energy source. That is really important. So bring snacks, people. And for staying hydrated, make sure to have lots of water. Coconut water is great. I love that. It's kind of like my recent thing that I've gotten into. I used to hate it, but I think it's pretty good now. Make sure you're staying away from sugary drinks, really. No energy drinks that have crazy weird stuff in them. Nothing that is going to work against you with having so much sugar in it. Just something that gets some liquid in your body. Don't go crazy with caffeine. Usually, especially at night or before rehearsal, that is not the best idea. So keep something like nutritionally sound or just neutral like water in your dance bag, and always be drinking that. Also, I know this is a really exciting time. Usually you're like late in the theater or something, and you want to go out after and have dinner with your friends or something, or with the company, and you don't get enough sleep. So try to make sure to at least get an adequate amount of sleep. I know this isn't usually the time where you're getting like 8 hours, especially if you're in high school. I know you've got things to do. But, just try and keep that in mind. Rest, have some alone time. I know this time is usually very overly stimulating for people, so just make sure and have your chill time, have your rest. It'll really help you, and it'll help you to avoid getting sick, which is like the least ideal thing probably that comes against most people when they're doing Nutcracker shows. Another thing to keep in mind is that you should really think before you go into the theater, and you're going to want to have a lot of things with you. You can add stress to your experience if you're not prepared and you don't have everything with you. Now this is obvious, but one thing that always helps me to ensure that I have everything I need with me is I will walk through my routine. Once I get through the theater, I'll think through the schedule, I'll know everything I have to do, and then before I go, I'll make sure I have everything I need in my bags, like extra tape. Make sure not just have everything you need, but extra. Like maybe your friend forgot her toe tape or whatever. Maybe you have an extra pair of toe pads. Keep that in your dance bag. An extra pair of flat shoes. More point shoes than you think you need. You don't want to run out of point shoes or have them go soft on you, and then you're like, oh, what do? I have 3 shows left. Mine are completely dead. I recommend, if you can, bring jet glue to the theater. You'll be your own hero and everyone else's hero. As long as your friends are generous and return the favor someday if you run out of jet glue. That's a nice thing to do. But just make sure you have everything on your checklist. Like maybe bring extra tights. Make sure if you have to bring your own, what is it? I don't know why I want to say bloomers. Oh, if you need your own trunks to bring under a costume or a nude leotard, make sure you have that stuff. You don't want to be stressed out last minute running around asking if anyone has an extra. I've been that person so many times, so just take care of that ahead of time. There will be no stress in that area. Also, I recommend bringing like an extra bag, even if it's not that full when you go to the theater. Like just have your normal dance bag, and then just bring like a reusable grocery bag or something with extra clothes, or like a scarf or a vest or extra leg warmers, or you can carry your extra snacks in there. Just have like a catch-all bag, because I find for some reason, like even when people are doing like Secret Santa or giving each other things, I don't know why, but I usually come home with like more things than I went there with to the theater. Either that, or like my things in my dance bag get really disorganized, and so I just want to like chuck all my warm-ups or something on top of the bag or something, instead of overstuffing my dance bag. So that's a nice little thing to do. Along with that, I already mentioned a little bit, bring extra layers to wear. Usually the theaters that everyone performs in, for some reason, are super cold. So having like a big scarf you could wrap around you and your costume, like between dances, or like a puffer vest is always really useful. Long leg warmers, socks, just things that you can wear backstage, but absolutely don't forget to take them off before you go on stage. I've heard of a lot of people doing that. So have a routine. Like for me, I usually sit backstage. For instance, I was like in the opening of Act 2, when the Sugar Plum Fairy and Clara and Fritz or Hans, whoever, like starts telling the story of the battle scene, I would be in that, and then I would have to wait around until Waltz of the Flowers. So I'd stay backstage and watch, but I'd make sure to have my layers on, and then I always made sure to take everything off at least the dance before. So I'd like check things, reevaluate, stand up, get moving again and all that, or even 2 dances before, just so that you are like fully prepared, or you're not standing in the wings and then you look down and realize you still have a leg warmer on. That would suck. So yeah, that's just my little tip there. Lastly, this is kind of different, but I remember when I was younger, I was at a studio that was really into drama. There was a lot of drama, like at all times, and it was not very pleasant most of the time. And now looking back, as I've matured quite a bit, thank the Lord, I realized that I used to participate in the drama too much, or like gossiping was really satisfying. I like to think I wasn't like an awful person or anything, but I was young, I was a teenager, there was always drama going on, there was always people who didn't like each other, sadly, in my studio, but I would participate in it, and now looking back, I really wish I didn't, but thankfully now, like, of course, my work environment is wonderful, I love my colleagues, there's no issue like that, and oftentimes when you get in a more professional environment or a professional school, drama isn't as much a part of your life, because there's a lot of other things to stay focused on, keep as number one in your mind. And I found when I was at that smaller studio, it was just like I guess people didn't have enough to do, so they just wanted to be dramatic. So if you're at a studio like that, which I hope you're not, I don't think most of you are, but just try to stay around people who you can laugh and have fun with and talk about positive things. If you, especially if you're in a situation like in the dressing room where you're not going to up and leave because you have to be there, you're getting dressed, doing your hair, whatever, and people are being negative or talking about others, even if you're shy, like try to inspire others to initiate positive conversation. Like ask them questions about what they're doing for Christmas, or ask them, you know, what are you doing this weekend? Do you want to go out to lunch or something between shows? Or, you know, there are so many things you could talk about. You guys could play like funny videos on YouTube on your phones. You could play cards if you're waiting. Just don't be that person who contributes to a negative environment and makes the experience for others not fun. And if you can't change the environment you're in by being positive, you don't owe it to anyone to stay in a room where if you don't have to be there. Like just leave, remove yourself, go be around people, or even by yourself if it's gonna make you have a more positive experience, because it's just really not worth it. Especially as you grow older, you'll realize that the drama is just something you're gonna forget, and it really doesn't matter. Like things when you're young start to feel like the end of the world, especially in high school when everyone has like hormones all over the place. They're just like, everything is the end of the world. Like, remember that it's not. And just focus on the performance, focus on having fun and creating memories with friends and not getting involved in petty little drama. So I hope that's not your situation at your home studio, but if it is, I just want to tell you, don't get involved. It's not important. Okay, so now that this video is getting really long, I'm going to sign off here, and hopefully I will be back very soon with a new upload. Bye!